Let's hit the field.
It is Sunday, September 7th, and we are halfway through the Gauntlet. The Yankees were finishing up a series with the Blue Jays, the rubber game. I got Terrence Kem here with me to talk about it. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and welcome to my guy, TK. TK, I got to say one thing real quick. When the Yankees lost on the game one, I guess it was Friday night, we had a ton of Blue Jays fans in the chat. I'm noticing not quite as many today. Not quite as many. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. I had like heart palpitations at the end of that game, man. They put Devin Williams in there, and I was like, oh my God, like here we go.
Let's go ahead. So we don't usually do voicemails until later in the show, but since we've got a lot of like energy being released right now from that great win, I wanted to give an example of some of the calls we got. We just got a million calls about Devin Williams when he got put in. Here, let's go.
When Devin Williams struck out Vlad the Impaler in the 8th, I had to pinch myself. I thought I was dreaming. I was really looking for an upset.
Favorite talk from the Catskills. I'm sure you're being flooded with calls. Devin Williams, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. So, Addison Barger just hit a base hit. I mean, I guess I give up.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. We got a bunch of those. That's the gist of it. But I felt the same way when, Boone went to Devin Williams with a 1-run lead in the 8th inning. I'm thinking, oh, my God, deja vu all over again. But he was able to get it done. We had a huge home run from Ben Rice today. Yankees gave the 3-run lead back, and I was thinking, oh, man, here we go. It was like the Yankees did everything they could to lose this game and still somehow won. Bellinger with a big hit today. Big throw behind the plate from Austin Wells in the 9th inning. You mentioned that might have been the game saver. TK, how you feeling about this win, this series?
Critical win. Critical. Because if they had lost, it would have been 4 games back rather than they are just 2 games back now. And you had mentioned in the green room, they do need to have sole possession of first place because Toronto has the tiebreaker. So technically you need 3 games back. So they got Detroit coming to town and then the Red Sox, which I believe that series is in Fenway. So that's the last 2 series of this gauntlet. But then they got like the Twins. So what am I looking for them? Just keep winning series ideally, but you got to give me like 3-3, like 500 at minimum over the next little stretch here.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's get to the recap because this was a fun one. So TK, I'm just going to run through my takeaways for the people who chose football over our beloved Yankees today. So great play in foul territory, falling into the dugout by Ryan McMahon to begin the game. He had a fantastic day in the field. He didn't do much offensively. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. We got a guy named Robert who calls in, he absolutely despises Ryan McMahon. I imagined he was punching air with all the great plays he was making on defense, but, kind of indicated by the tough day on offense. But we had Max Fried struck out Davis Schneider on 3 different pitches in his first at-bat in the first inning. 2 blown calls by the home plate umpire in the first 10 pitches of the game. Absolutely unreal. And then we had an enormous, big 3-run home run from Ben Rice. Just a critical shot. Made it 3-0 Yankees in the bottom of the first inning. And TK, now that we've seen more of Ben Rice, 23 home runs this year, playing a little bit of first base, a little bit of catcher. Hasn't been particularly great either way. I think you got to commit. With a guy who's not great at either position, you got to kind of commit to putting him one spot, right? If you want to get his bat in there every day. Which would you do? Would you prefer to make him the first baseman or the catcher?
I probably lean towards having him play first. Is Goldschmidt a better defender at first? Yes, but he's been a first baseman his entire career.
Well,
Ben
next
Rice,
year. I mean, next year he's not going to be on the team. So let's
No. I know. I'm just kind of just for the sake of argument. But yeah, I think I lean towards him playing first. Catching wise, like I think for 2 reasons. Wells, I do think is a better defender, and with ABS, it's tough. I don't care about framing. I care more so about like blocking pitches in the dirt because ABS is coming and throwing guys out. So framing, I could care less. But also with catching, that is a very physical position. It beats guys up. What Kyle Raleigh is doing right now, I don't think will be done
Absurd.
probably ever again. It's absolutely absurd what he's doing. So offensively, I think you value his bat the most, right? So offensively, you'd rather him just kind of commit to first. But the only thing is, with Judge having arm problems, is that the eventual route for him, kind of like the Bryce Harper road. So that's like the only other kind of hiccup there, maybe. But I think I lean towards him being the everyday first baseman. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, the Judge thing. I don't think he's going to need Tommy John. They said there was no UCL damage. So I think they're just trying to play it safe with, how they're using him. But I agree that he should play first base. I mean, he's a gigantic target over there if you teach him how to pick, and there's no reason you can't learn how to pick. I mean, professional athlete, the hand-eye coordination, being elite, I think that he would be fine over there. Ben Rice, though, I could see him playing first. I could see him catching. There's just so many different ways that we could go. But big home run for Ben Rice today. In the second inning, we had two opportunities for Aaron Judge to throw. The first one I thought was pretty good. He almost nailed the runner at second base. Runner almost helped him out by oversliding. Second one, he hit the cutoff man. It was a 70-mile-an-hour throw to, I believe it was Jazz. And it would have been a low percentage play to try and get the runner at home anyway, but I think a healthy judge has a really good chance to throw him out. It would have been interesting to see what he did if it was like, a tie game in the ninth inning at that point. Would he airmail it, or was it the plan just, hey, be safe unless the game is on the line? Thoughts on what we saw from Judge and his arm?
Yeah, he's definitely playing hurt, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But he made that great diving play in the field, and I was texting my dad about that, and I was kind of just saying, like, yeah, Judge's arm is compromised, clearly, and, now Stanton's back at the DH spot, but if Stanton's playing right, he doesn't make that play. So there is still value in having Judge out there as a defender, even though his arm is kind of shot right now. The only thing that worries me is that he'll make it worse. Like you said, if the game's on the line and he kind of airs it out a little bit, lets it loose a little bit with the throw, and then like something pops, that's like the absolute worst case scenario. So I'm fine with him out there, but yeah, they're definitely kind of telling him to play with a little bit more of a reserved mindset. But it'll be interesting. It's just kind of like survive until the end of the season for me with him, right? Like just nothing worse. Don't aggravate it. I don't think they should be afraid to having him go back to DH if he's kind of saying it's getting worse. But I'm okay with him having his glove out there just because he is great with the glove, not just the arm.
He did make a nice diving catch in this game. Jays tied it up. We had Volpe make his 19th error of the year, but Fried prevented further damage. They left a couple of guys on. We'll talk more about Volpe in a few minutes. Judge and Bellinger manufactured a run to get the run back. Judge with the walk and the stolen base. Judge had 3 walks today. He's got 11 stolen bases now, and him and Jazz both stealing. Jazz and Judge have this competition to see who could have the greater total of home runs plus stolen bases. Maybe somebody can do the math right now, but Chisholm has 27 stolen bases. Judge has 11. So anyway, TK, I need Bellinger back. If I'm Cashman, he's my number one priority this offseason. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple pretty nice left-handed outfield options this season. So there'll be Kyle Tucker, there'll be Cody Bellinger, and I get Trent Grisham, who's had a very nice year. He's probably going to get paid this offseason. But yeah, for me, it's got to be Cody Bellinger. I think he's kind of the most complete player available. He's proven that he can play in New York. And if you think about it, he's only really played in big markets. He came up as a Dodger. He was a Cub, which isn't, New York or LA, but still a pretty big franchise to be a part of. And then obviously now the Yankees, very versatile, can play kind of anywhere in the outfield first. He hustles every time, he hits a ground ball, he's hustling down the line. He's got kind of that Paul O'Neill hair on fire a little bit, sort of edge to him. Comes through in the big moment. Yeah, I mean, I need him to come back for sure. He's definitely going to opt out, test free agency. He's a Boris guy, but definitely I agree with you. He would be the number one priority for me to bring back over. We can get into this a little bit more, but like if you had to pick between a Grisham and a Bellinger, I'm probably leaning Bellinger.
Yeah. I agree. I think. So sloppy play from Austin Wells in the 4th inning. He almost JFK'd Nathan Lucas running down the first baseline, just missed his dome. Turned a slow roller in front of the plate into a man in scoring position. Luckily, Judge saved the day with a diving catch in right field. We had 7 gritty, gutsy, really good innings from Max Fried. in this game. We'll spotlight him more in a second. I could not believe my eyes when I saw the tweet from Max Goodman that Devin Williams was warming up to come in the game with a 1-run lead. And then when he actually came in the game, I thought maybe they're using him as a decoy, right? Let's get everybody thinking he's going to go. And then when he actually went in the game, I was pacing, I was sweating, I was nervous. And then he gives up a base hit. He allowed a walk. He got through the inning without allowing a run, but he did allow 2 base runners. I mean, playing with fire there, man. I mean, just Russian roulette on that one. If the game is within 3 runs after the 5th inning, I think the Yankees' standard protocol should be to put him in a cab and send him across town. That way Boone can't be tempted to use him. David Bednar threw the ball really well today, closed out the game, and the Yankees win the game and the series. They take 2 out of 3.
Ball game over. Yankees win.
Got another dumb comment here. Rui says, Judge is trash in a big moment. He got walked 3 times today, and he made an unbelievable catch, and he scored 2 runs and stole a base. What do you want from the guy? He got 2 hits yesterday. I mean, watch more baseball. Anyway, who are we going with the belt today? We had some tough choices here. It was really Rice or Fried. Who'd we go with?
We went with Mr. Max Fried. There it is.
Max Fried, who has now tied Jazz Chisholm with 9 belts on the season. We got a barn burner. And then right behind him, Grisham and Rodon, each with 8. Bellinger has 6. Stanton has 5. Judge and Rice, each with 4.5. Warren with 4. Dominguez, Schmidt, and Wells with 3. Behind them, Escara with 2. Yarbrough, Goldschmidt, Bednar, Schlittler, and Cruz all with 2. And then tied with just 1 apiece, Oswaldo Cabrera. We miss him. Carlos Carrasco, rest in peace. Volpe, Stroman, God, and Ryan McMahon. So those are your current belt standings for those of you listening. Nice job by Max Fried. Let's talk about him.
Pitcher Spotlight.
So, we gave him the belt, but I didn't think he was super sharp early on. This is one of those games that pitchers will say they really like because it was a grind. They didn't have their best stuff, and they still got through it. I thought the umpire wasn't giving him any help early on. The umpiring has been atrocious over the last week or so. He got out of a pretty big jam. Second and third, nobody out, kept the runners from scoring. He's got the ERA down to 3.02. He picks up the win. He is now 16-5 on the season. Career best in wins was 17 back in 2019. Any thoughts on Max Fried today?
Just big start. Laid it all out there. A critical game, obviously, a must-win game. I hate when people go like, well, it's the regular season. It's not a must. It's a must-win. Today was a must-win, and they got it done. So didn't have his best stuff, and he still got it done. And I'm encouraged what I've seen lately from him just because he had that stretch where he was pitching to like an 8 ERA. I don't know if that had anything to do with the blister on his finger. Probably did. Who knows? But even when he hasn't had his best stuff, I think the difference now is he's kind of really just gotten the job done, just simply. Like you said, I think when you're on the mound, Derek and I can talk about this, but when you're on the mound and you're getting squeezed a little bit, the umpire's not giving you anything. It's so frustrating, and especially a team like Toronto that just fouls everything off. You make a good pitch and you think you got him, and he ticks it back, and then it's like you got to go again. It's so frustrating. So to stay locked in, big time performance, to give him 7 innings as well. That's huge to go deep in the game. So yeah, man, just big time.
And with the day off tomorrow, I mean, the bullpen gets a little bit of rest as they gear up for the Detroit series. And a day off at home, I've always felt like the Yankees play well after a day off at home. You're not traveling. You can just kind of hang around. If I were Aaron Boone, I would tell everybody, tomorrow's a complete day off. Don't even worry about coming to the stadium to work out. Don't take any batting practice. Let your body rest. Let your mind rest. We're halfway through a really important stretch of games. Get some sleep. Don't go out and party. Have a day with the family. Have a day to watch Netflix or whatever. Just let yourself breathe. And I think that'll charge them up as they prepare for the next 6 games here. 3 against Detroit at home and then off to Boston for 3 more. Which of those series worries you more, the Detroit series or the Boston series?
Boston, just because that's in Fenway Park. It's been a house of horrors for them, and that's an in-division opponent. The Detroit series, I don't know if they're going to see Skubal or not. I don't know how that's going to line up. If they do see Scooble, I kind of chalk that up as an immediate loss. This team doesn't really hit lefties that well, and I think other than Paul Skeens, I think Scooble's probably the best pitcher on the planet right now, and Paul Skeens is like right behind him, and he's the lefty. So I kind of chalk that up immediately as a loss. Ideally, you like to win both series, take 2 out of 3 for both. But if you're going to lose a series, I'd rather lose the series to Detroit than I would to Boston.
Yeah, I think that maybe this win, winning 4 out of 6 against Houston and Toronto will get the Yankees' confidence going a little bit, right? And maybe you take 3 from Detroit, right? I mean, I know we don't like to say, oh, you got to sweep or whatever, but, with 19 games left, you're going to have to sweep some series. You're going to have to sweep some of the bums. You're going to have to take all 3 from the White Sox when they come to town. Ideally, you take 3 from the Twins after you leave Baltimore. After you leave Boston. And then you go to Baltimore for a 4-game set. It's hard to, take 4. But you hope you take 3 out of 4. I mean, really, the Yankees got to get red hot down the stretch. My hope is that an exhilarating win like this kind of gets those emotions going, gets everybody feeling great, and then, we get on a roll here. But I could also see, like, with the way this team has played all year, where it's like, 1 step forward, 2 steps back sometimes. Yeah. I could also see them going 2-4 over the next 6, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like you got to sweep Minnesota. I mean, we own that team. We are the Houston Astros to the Twins, pretty much. We absolutely own them in the regular season and the playoffs. I think in the last 20 years, we're 125 wins over 162 game season. It's ridiculous. So to me, it's if you're gonna lose a series, lose it to Detroit, take 2 out of 3 in Boston, sweep Minnesota, and ideally you take 3 out of 4 in Baltimore, and you finish the season feeling good and hot, and you're going to the playoffs feeling well about yourself.
So here's the thing: I think we might actually have to face Tariq Skubal. He pitched yesterday, right? So if you do the math, 4 days off would mean he would pitch the Thursday game, the 11th.
Yeah.
Now, here's why I would much rather face him in New York than in Detroit, because he's a hard-throwing lefty. You stack the lineup full of righties and you say, just look for the fastball and swing late or whatever if you have to, hit the ball in the air to right field. That's one of those games where you want to rely on the home run. You want to try and maybe work some counts, foul off some pitches, make his pitch count get up so he's done after 5 innings, and hope you run into a 2-run home run or 3-run home run. And that's going to be one of those games where you need the starting pitching opposing him to go really well. So, and the bullpen probably going to have to step up. So this should be a really, really interesting series. Let's talk a few more topics here. Of the Yanks, indeed. So another tough game for Anthony Volpe. I feel like I say that every day. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and an error. His OPS is now .665. So I've been asking the folks who I've been having on the show lately, what's the plan? I mean, can you run Volpe back out there next year as your starting shortstop? Forget what happens the rest of the season. He's not had a good year. He's not going to have a good year. He does have a decent amount of home runs and RBIs for his shortstops, but the defense has not been good. The arm has looked like it's regressing. He's had a lot of trouble just getting the ball across the field. And, sometimes it's easy to see when you contrast how somebody like Caballero gets the ball across the infield. If there's a routine ground ball to Caballero, he kind of makes a routine throw, and it's chest high and it's got plenty of velo on it. Whereas Volpe, if that ball takes an extra hop and he's got to hurry, he almost never gets it to first base. He can't put enough on the throw. That's a big problem, TK. And the way he's not hitting, for contact, he's not getting on base very often. I know he's had some run production, but I just think it's a mistake to run him back out there next year. I also don't think Caballero is an everyday shortstop. The Yankees are in a really tough position here. I'm not sure you can run back both Wells and Volpe, 2 guys who are basically 200 hitters, and until McMahon shows that he's better than a 200 hitter. I mean, that's a really bad bottom of the order in terms of contact. I think you got to find a way to get better than that. One easy way to do it is to upgrade with a stopgap at shortstop. Don't know who that's going to be, but what are your thoughts on the plan for shortstop?
Yeah, I mean, Bo Bichette's going to be a free agent. Then you would have to lock him up long term. I wouldn't want to do that, especially with George Lombard in the system coming up. I mean, he's struggled this year, but obviously the tools are there. Volpe, we said this also. I said this at the beginning of the season. I was like, this is year 3. Show me something. this is the year, and he hasn't come up to the challenge for that. And as I said, like I've met Volpe in person, spent a little bit of time with him. He's not a very big guy. Like, you know, he looks like a pro athlete, sure, but he's built like a second baseman, and his arm shows that as well. He has that frame. He kind of looks like Dustin Pedroia, and that's the player that I think he should try to model his game after, where you're trying to slap the ball around the field. But look, he's going to hit 20 jacks. Maybe the Yankees are trying to construct his swing to sort of hit home runs. But I've heard A-Rod do interviews and talking about the state of the Yankees like we are right now, with him saying, like, I would trade Anthony Volpe's 20 home runs for a 280 average right now. And so would I right now. You can hit 5 home runs. I don't care. Like, but you got to hit the ball. The guy strikes out way too much, and you were going to kind of live with it because he could do something in the field. But even in the field, it's been a problem this season. I'd rather run Caballero out there, honestly, at this point, dude.
We'll see. We already talked a little bit about Belly and Grish early on. Let us know in the chat and in the comments, if you had to pick one to bring back, who you bringing back, Bellinger or Grisham? Keep in mind, Grisham will be cheaper. Belly's more of a versatile guy, probably a little bit more expensive. And as far as the Yankees' chances to win the AL East now, they're just 2 games back. But as TK mentioned earlier, you really got to win by 3 games because the Blue Jays have the tiebreaker. It's not going to be easy. If you had to say a percentage chance, 1 to 100, what percentage chance do you give them to win the American League East?
I have to say, I don't know who Toronto has on the schedule, but based on who the Yankees have on the schedule, I give it like a 40%.
That's pretty high. I would have said like 25%, 1 in 4 chance. But, a month ago, it didn't look like they were even going to have that much of a chance. And to basically wrap the bow on this series, the Yankees have got to stop using Devin Williams in close games. I mean, it gives the fans heart attack. If for no other reason other than my cardiovascular health, please stop using Devin Williams in close games. Quick word from DraftKings, and then back to wrap things up with TK. We got a few more voicemails.
Game on. Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football, it's first touchdown fireworks, anytime TD rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Stubbo says, just saying Devin Williams causes their heart to skip a beat. We got a call here from Hannah.
Hey, Derek. This is Hannah from Long Island again. So Volpe made an error in the previous inning, or maybe the second inning, whatever that was, that led to a run. Now, Wells just threw the ball away and let the runner go to second. I mean, I think Volpe and Wells maybe need to spend less time together because these two, I don't know, like these errors and extended slumps. I mean, Wells, I feel like, he's been hitting better, and I feel like his ceiling may be a bit higher as far as like hitting, but Volpe just needs to go. This is just...
Appreciate the call, Hannah. I feel like a lot of people share that opinion. We got another call here, Volpe, Williams, and Boone. Let's see what this is about.
Yeah, Derek, Steve from Maine again. I think there are a couple of things Yankee fans have to understand and accept and make peace with. One is the Yanks are going to live or die with Anthony Volpe. 2 is the Yankees are going to live or die with Devin Williams. And 3 is the Yankees are going to live or die with Aaron Boone. As soon as we make peace with that, with all those problems, the real significant problems, we'll have an easier time watching this team go down the tubes.
Way to end things on a positive note there. I love Yankee fans. But nothing he said I think was wrong. They are going to live and die with those guys this year anyway, TK.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And I was just looking at the Blue Jay schedule here, but they got Houston, then the Orioles, and then they're at the Rays, at Kansas City, and then they got the Red Sox and the Rays to finish up the season in Toronto. So no cakewalk to finish off the year for them. So it depends if the Yankees are going to be hot or not going down the stretch. But I do think that the division is like the team that clinches the division will be on like game 160.
Here is the goal for the Yankees. This should be the goal. Be tied for the division lead when you wake up in the morning on September 15th. That's the day that you begin the Minnesota Twins series, and it begins the soft landing for the season, where you got 3 at Minnesota, 4 at Baltimore, 3 at home against the White Sox, and then 3 at home against Baltimore, finishing off on the 28th. Because I think that the Yankees will crush that series, that stretch of games, if they're in a position to win the division. If you wake up a couple games out, 3 games out, I think they might go into wild card mode and try and line up their rotation and things like that, try and get guys rested and just hope that they play well in the first round. But if you got a chance to win the division and maybe even get a bye in the first round, you got to be tied for the division at worst when you wake up next Monday. TK, one more time. Yankees win.
Ball game over. Yankees win.
And by the way, that is 80 wins for the New York Yankees. And if they win one more game, which I'm sure they will, that will continue their streak of not having a losing season, which I think is the thing the Yankees care most about. Even more so than championships, they love that stretch. They love that streak.
Yep. Since like 92, I think, right?
Yep. And I remember it well. It was awful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.